Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining me again. So a storm is coming. I've been waiting for a while to record this video, and this is the right time. I'm here in the mountains, and you can see behind me that it's getting darker. The temperature is dropping. I've got my hands in my pocket, and the wind is blowing. I hope it's not too bad for this video, but a storm is coming, and I want to talk about being prepared for storms on a number of different levels. It's very critical that we think about preparation. So the mountain men of old lived a life of preparation. They knew that they would be in the mountains for months at a time. And they had to factor in many things, their food supply. They had to take food with them. They had to plan their travels so there'd be points where they could replenish their food. They also had to factor in what they would need for all different kinds of inclement weather scenarios, heat, cold, snow. They had to factor in fuel for the fire and fuel to cook their food. They had to factor in the dangers of traveling, right? Wild animals, natural disasters. Not all the Native Americans were friendly. And so they had to live a life of preparation if they were going to be a successful mountain man. And I would suggest that, you know, we are challenging men through this YouTube channel to deal with stuff internally, deal with stuff in their family, and take seriously the responsibility to impact their generation, to impact this world. And we've talked about the 7 mountains of culture. That's why we call it the mountain men. We want men to be challenged, to have an influence for good in this world. So now we're coming out of 2 years of COVID, and we've seen the supply chain, disrupted. So we go into the grocery store, and for all of our adult life, basically, we've been really spoiled by this thing called just-in-time inventory, where there's enough food. I don't know if I can talk without my hands being free. So there's enough food on the shelves. We have never, until the last couple years, ever thought about walking in and seeing large sections of the shelves bare. And so we realized that we have been counting on, for most of our lives, for others to prepare for us. And now we're finding ourselves at a point where, hey, we weren't prepared for food shortage. And we're finding ourselves in a time when, historians tell us that in terms of the precursors to civil war, 8 of the 10 signs that historically are pretty constant before nations go to civil war, 8 of those 10 signs are here with us right now. And I'm not suggesting that necessarily that's going to happen, but are we living a life of preparation? Are we prepared? If this storm in this part of the Smoky Mountains, if this storm today takes out the power, are people prepared to be without power for a few days or a few weeks? And there's the whole prepper movement, and this is not necessarily a prepper video, but I think the whole idea of preparation on the home front, especially if you have a family that you're responsible for, gentlemen, we need to be taking that seriously. But just other areas, the storms of life will always come, gentlemen. Are you prepared for those storms? Sickness may come, right? You may lose your job. With all the corporate mergers that's going around in this country, your company could downsize, and you may be the downsized person, right? So storms will come. Are you living a life of preparation? How about you younger men? If you're not married yet, are you getting prepared to be married? Are you thinking ahead, buying a home that a wife would be honored to come home to, and thinking about what would be nice for her? Are you thinking ahead to the teenage years? The biggest crisis of your adult life will be when your kids become teenagers. But are you living a life of preparation? That's really the theme of today's video. And guys, now we have the Ukrainian Russian war going on, and there are serious implications and complications internationally for How that is going to play itself out. If you haven't seen my earlier video on that, I'll link it here at the end of this video. Why are we not sending in troops? That's my perspective on that, is that we should be taking a much stronger stand. So one of the things that I want to leave us with in terms of preparation is that men need to be in good physical condition. I apologize, I feel like I've been harping on this a little bit recently, but I think we take, let's take that Ukrainian situation, for instance. If you were in Ukraine right now, and they've conscripted everybody up to age 60, I think, I don't remember where it starts, 18 or whatever, but the point is, if you were in Ukraine and you were in your 40s or 50s, or any age in that range, and you were called into the military to defend your country, could you be a part of that? Or just in a, let's say you're in a car accident and the car rolls down over the hill and you're able to go for help, but your wife is injured. Could you, walk or run or jog, 3, 4, 5 miles to go get help? But I think we need, if you're going to think prep, you need to think preparing to live well for a long time, and you need to think about being able to be physically helpful in many situations. I know in our modern world we don't think about that, and I think real leaders need to think about that. Okay, so guys, I want to thank you for, I just wanted to just talk about preparation a little bit, and I hope it's been helpful to you. I hope it's been challenging to you, and I want to challenge you to hit the subscription button here on the Mountain Man channel if you haven't already, and also the notification button. But mostly I want to thank you for taking your time to hang out with me today. I'm David, this is the Mountain Men.